Okay, number 7. I really wish my camera would continue to light up my room like that, but it's whatever. I didn't plan for this to be finished as soon as I finished number 6, but that's just sort of how it worked out. Number 7 is this is a library copy. The Iliad by Homer. Yes, we are going way, way back. Thought to have been written around somewhere 8th century BCE. This particular translation is by Robert Fagles and Bernard Knox. Thank you, you two, because this piece was incredible. It took me about 3 weeks to get through it, but oh man, it is so great. But nonetheless, I'm gonna judge it fairly. I think it's a 4. Straight up 4. Margin of error of maybe like 0.1, 0.2 this time. Depending on the translation you get. I definitely really liked the Robert Fagles translation for sure. But like I said, I love anything ancient Greek. I am a general philosophy minor, so I am fully within the liberal arts field. It was an excellent war story. It told a lot of stuff about how they conducted warfare back then, and the Iliad isn't even like the entirety of the Trojan War. It's only like 2 to 3 weeks of the Trojan War. I have the Odyssey down there, and then that'll be the next big read. But it's just like a small section, but it feels so important, so drawn out, and I feel like that's how war probably would be. Every day is a lifetime for you. Well, it is if you get stabbed in the back. I should be laughing about that. The gods interfered a lot more than I thought they would in this story. I thought it was gonna be just a bunch of dudes, Achilles, on the Achaean side, Agamemnon, Achilles, Diomedes, Odysseus, giant Ajax, Menelaus, and them just like screwing around and just like messing up Trojans. But no, there was quite a bit of praying to the gods, and a lot of the gods answering, and like fate is very real in the story. How about that? Fate is very real in the story because the gods are real in the story, and they have a very tangible threshold on mortals' lives. And it's really sad to see fate swing one way or another. Best character though is Diomedes. If I was to have a kid, I would name him Diomedes because he was so cool. Within like the first like I think like 6 or 7 chapters, he was so cool. Like he speared Ares. Now, sure, he had help by Athena, but still, like, dude, come on, like, and you can't go for someone like obvious like Odysseus or something like that. He's got his own freaking novel. You can't go for Achilles. Diomedes though, that was sick. It's and one thing about this is that like you will go into the warfare. Homer will put you in this warfare all around you you'll be reading how people are getting speared left and right, slashed through the throat, slashed through the collarbone, just, and then for some characters he'll tell you about them. He'll tell you where they're from, and if they have wives or children back home, or if they have a beautiful estate that they will never see again after they get cut down. And it's really interesting to see that, because you get to see both like the super like bloody parts of war, but you also see the sadness that comes with that, and you see that some of these people are never they're never gonna make it home again, and you get to learn about them, and then you're sucked right back into murder rampage. I think that's what one of like the main points of the Iliad is. besides obviously just, an epic poem. I love the emotions that it shows as well. Whether that be through the gods or through mortal men. Everybody cries, everybody weeps, griefs, everybody just has a really hard time in this novel, and they're allowed to express their emotions. And I think that's really nice, because a lot of men today are told not to do that, and yet here we see like what is held as like the epitome of like masculinity with like the ancient Greeks, maybe, depending on who you are, weeping freely over their fallen comrades, and I'm glad that they do that. I really am. But yeah, just overall really great. Definitely. I mean, it's free online. I'm like almost positive. Oh, look at that! My room isn't dark anymore. It's crazy. Um, it's free online. I don't know which translation is free online, but definitely Robert Fagles and Bernard Knox. I quite enjoyed their translation. There's just, and then there's just something about the ancient Greeks. There's just something so simple, just living that Mediterranean lifestyle. Just going to invade like like another city state. That's all I've got. This was an excellent read. If you like mythology, if you like history, you need to read the Iliad and the Odyssey. It's crucial. It's literally a part of history right there. Without getting too deep into philosophy with Socrates, Plato, or Aristotle, or any of the pre-Socratic philosophers. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you hopefully within the next 7 days.